What makes anybody think, even for a minute, that it's any of their business? Hi, I'm Sherry from Twin Sisters Mastectomy Boutique, and here's the thing. There is so much breast cancer out there. 1 in 8 women in their lifetime will develop breast cancer. So that means that you know people who have breast cancer, you interact with them, you do business with them, you know, it's the grocery clerk, it's the nurse, it's the accountant, it's the housekeeper, it's the dog groom, everybody, right? Like, it doesn't have any social status, financial status, educational status, cultural status. Globally, those numbers are 1 in 8. So there's a ton of breast cancer around. And a lot of people talk about their breast cancer, but I'd say more people don't, which is why it feels like an island when you've got that diagnosis of breast cancer. But here's the thing. You know, we're talking about breast cancer because, you know, we want to educate people, but it is nobody's business if you have breast cancer, right? So, you know, people go through my boutique, come through, and obviously we talk about it, but they're like, yeah, nobody at work knows, or some of my family doesn't know, or, you know, friends, they don't know, because it's none of their business. None of their business. You wouldn't be telling all these same people about your personal finances, right? You wouldn't be telling all these people about intimate details of your marriage, right? You wouldn't be telling people about, you know, all sorts of personal things. So why do people think it's their business that you have breast cancer? Or why do you feel obligated or guilty, you know, if you don't discuss your breast cancer with people? Now, don't get me wrong, I talk about it all the time because this is kind of my job. But I would say that, in my opinion, the people who do need to know are probably immediate family who this might affect. So your children, both boys and girls, men, women, because breast cancer is now in their family and they need to be proactive in checking their breast health. And yes, men can get breast cancer, but also for their children and your grandchildren, like in great-grandchildren and so on. It's good to know if this is in the family because, you know, I just had a mammogram and they're like, is there any breast cancer in your family? Now, I should say, breast cancer, only 30% of people who have breast cancer have it in their family, but it elevates their chances. And actually, I wish I took a picture of this, but on the wall where I got my mammogram, it said the 2 biggest factors of getting breast cancer is 1, being female, because we have a higher incidence than men, and 2, aging. That's it. Because as we get older, it's more likely that we're going to have breast cancer. Which also brings me to, when was the last time you had a breast examination by your doctor? And I'm just thinking to my own family, I don't think my mom's 86 this year. When was the last time she had a mammogram or a breast examination? I mean, I should ask her because it might have been last week, who knows? But, you know, aging is a factor. So, back to my original point. If you don't want to tell anybody, it's not their business to hear. Simple as that. You don't need to tell your friends, your colleagues, your coworkers. I had somebody come into my boutique just the other day, and she was, you know, off on leave because she had a double mastectomy. And she said, yeah, I haven't told any of my coworkers, and it's not their business. So, you know, and she's, you know, she's thinking, well, I'll let them assume what they want to assume, because she had reconstruction and it's a whole big thing, but, you know, and maybe they think that she's having a breast reduction, or maybe they're thinking that she's having breast enhancement or whatever. They don't need to know that she has a diagnosis of cancer, right? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that your friends, your colleagues, your coworkers, your neighbors should know because you want to spread awareness, or you want them to be aware of things? Or do you think it's personal? And who have you told? Did you tell your close friends and your family, coworkers? Did you tell nobody? I've had people come in, they haven't even told their adult children. And then I have other people who tell everybody. And as a result, other people come to them and go, you know what, I was just diagnosed. Can you talk me through it? Or, you know, thank you for sharing it because my sister's going through this. It is very personal. It's a very personal choice. And I really want to know what you did and what you recommend. Did you tell a bunch of people and did you regret it? Did you keep it to yourself? Did you regret it? Are you happy the way you handled it with who you told and who you didn't tell? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious because it's so different for everybody. I even had a nurse who said, you know, she doesn't want to go back to work because people will make fun of her. Because I guess everybody knew, you know, that she had this surgery. And I said, but you're a nurse. They're going to make fun of you? And she said, yeah, certain departments, certain people in certain groups. I thought, wow, that sucks. Really, these are adults. And you know what? When you work in some place as big as a hospital, you know, how many hundreds of people work there? Yeah, there's going to be a couple of jerks. And it just takes one to make you feel like you don't want to go back to work. Like bullying is still happening as adults. It just takes a more subtle form, or maybe not so subtle. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below how you have handled it or how you think you would handle it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.